45 minutes of yin and meditation. It's so good to be with you, even in this virtual experience. I've been texting and messaging with so many of you over the last 2 days, and I'm just so happy that you're here, and it's a pleasure to be serving you. Before we start class and meditation, I'd like to just present to you a couple of the mudras and props that we'll be using for today's practice, especially if you haven't practiced yin with me in the past. It'll just be nice to know what to expect. So as you go into your practice, you can spend the majority of the time with your eyes softly closed, focused on the sensations in your body and focusing on your breath. So the first mudra that we'll be using is called Mushti Mudra. So you'll take the thumb to the center of the palm and drape 4 fingers over. We'll be using this primarily in breath retention, and also it's Tuesday. Yeah. The second mudra that we'll be using is Garuda Mudra, where you'll connect the thumbs and spread the fingers, typically at the chest center. That'll be the second one that we use. And then along the way, we might be using other ones, such as this one with the tips of our thumbs on the base of our pinkies. Today we'll be focusing on the lung and the corresponding Zangfu organ pairing, which is the large intestine. So we'll be working a lot with the arms and the shoulders. So if you've been, texting and emailing a lot extra and you feel a little bit tight in your shoulders, this will be a really nice way to stretch them out. The meridian line at the lung begins in the chest, shoulder area and travels down into the thumb. Large intestines corresponding is the pointer finger. So of course I'm going to ask you to do some weird things with your fingers and different things with the wrists that you might not conventionally do in a standard yin class, but now you know why. Now with regards to props, if you can, just find 2 things that are roughly the same size. These can be books. If you don't have props, they can be blocks. I have a blanket underneath me just to protect the outside of my ankle. You can also use a beach towel or a throw, whatever. And then of course I have a bolster, and you can use any sort of cushion. The practice will be designed today that you're not dependent on props to have a wonderful experience, but they sure do come in handy. Okay, so to go ahead and begin, we'll pull the ankles, left ankle crossed over right forward. And again, if you have your books or your blocks, you can place them to the outside of your thighs. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders a few times. Pausing, and then going in the opposite direction. It might feel nice to move your neck around a little bit, taking it in one direction, pausing, and taking it into the other. At this point, if you haven't begun to breathe slowly and steadily in and out of your nose, now would be the time to do so. Beautiful. I'll show you the breathing work that we're going to be doing to start. And we'll begin with our thumbs being placed in the crook of our armpits, remaining 4 fingers pointing up, and then you'll go ahead and press the belly of the forearms against the top of the chest. And this is just to begin to stimulate the meridian lines. As you're breathing, checking in that points of sensation are inside your body, and that even if your eyes are open, you can close them just a little bit, finding Shanti Drishti. Beautiful. Now when you're ready, go ahead and cross left thumb over right, Garuda Mudra in front of the heart. Take a big inhale. Top of the inhale, hold, find Mushti Mudra. We'll hold this for about 6 or 8 counts. And when you're ready to exhale, slowly begin to exhale. Spread the arms out wide to the side. Feel a light stretch in your chest. Hold the base of the exhalation, so don't take in air. Find your Mushti Mudra. Beautiful. Inhale, bring it back, Garuda. Fill the lungs, expand, elevating the arms off the side ribs so you can breathe in deeply. Hold the inhale retention, Mushti. As you're ready to exhale, expand out. Hold exhale retention, Mushti. One more time. And hold. Release out. Slow, steady exhale. Feel a stretch in the chest, expansion of side ribs, and hold your exhale, retention. When you're ready, inhale. This time, gathering the hands at the heart and bending the middle fingers in. This is in general a good mudra for your bronchioles and for controlling asthma. And since we're focusing on the lungs, we'll be doing things to bolster our lung qi. Take a moment to close your eyes. You can even bring your chin down slightly, feeling the back of the neck stretching. And setting an intention for your practice. So important to keep our lungs healthy at this time, but also the where we store things like grief and sadness, heartbreak, when we're emotionally overwhelmed. Setting an intention to find healing throughout your practice today. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up. Palms towards the sky. Hands gathering back to Anjali. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale. And one last time. Lovely. Let's go ahead and get started. So you can take your blocks or books to the side. We'll come quickly just onto hands and knees. Warm up our spine a little bit with cat-cow. So go ahead and create that nice stretch in the belly. Sits bones and chins high towards the sky. And then exhale, tuck, press away. Once again, feel a stretch in the back body all the way through the top of the neck. Continue to flow, and this will be an even lazier cat-cow than we normally would do. Pause, curl your toes under. Don't forget your pinky toe. That one kind of tends to flip out. And then go ahead and pull yourself into a comfortable seat. Now for some of you, the seat might feel nice to put the bolster between your sits bones and your heels, right? Inhale, take your arms out wide to the side. And exhale, take your left arm underneath your right, finding eagle, and then pressing the arms towards the top of the chest. I'm Mike, so I'm not going to press down super hard. I'm going to create a little bit of squeeze, stimulating those little lymph nodes around the chest and the armpit area. Now we know how important the thumb and the pointer finger is to this practice, so if you'd like, you can create a little bit of pressure. If it works for you, you can also take your thumb to the center of your forehead and apply a gentle pressure. Think about expanding the back body, scapula bones moving a little bit farther apart. If you're newer to the yin practice, allow your belly to release down. And there's 3 primary tattvas. We commit to stillness, we hold for time, and we work on appropriate edge where we find sensation, using the breath to reconcile the sensation. Poses will typically be held anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And some poses we might hold a little shoulder if they're intense, such as fire toes. And once you see me in the pose, you are welcome to close your eyes and just see where sensation is in your body. You might be surprised. Now is a perfect time to just check in with all the feels. What's going on? And providing yourself with love and self-care. Beautiful. Release your arms out very slowly as you rock the weight forward and plant the tops of the feet flat. Pulling your arms up high. Exhale, secure your hands to your low back for a super lazy camel. Fingertips will be pointing down, supporting your lumbar spine. You can take your chin off your chest if that's comfortable for you, but don't feel like you have to go super deep. Now, if you're naturally inclined to flexible, you're welcome to take your hands to your heels if you want, but we're going to hang out here for a little bit. Might be nice to keep the eyes slightly parted, Shanti Drishti. As you're breathing, see if you can actually pull the midline of the abdomen just below the sternum and feel it lengthening and stretching. And exhale, sit back. This time you'll keep your feet flat to the floor. And right arm will come under left. So we'll do our eagle arms to the opposite side again. You can take a hold of the thumb, maybe even take the thumb to your third eye center. Find a comfortable position for your chin. Softly close your eyes and allow the weight of the upper arm to rest against your chest. Gently release out, and once again, make your way onto your knees. Circle sweep your arms up. Second lazy camel. Secure your hands to your low back or possibly to your heels if that's more available to you. And think about the camel as it travels through the desert. Moving slowly, long distances under very stressful environments, and yet it manages to conserve what it needs and make its way through. Again, think about growing long out of your abdomen, pushing the breath as you inhale up into the top of the lungs, top of the chest, and into side body as well. And gently release out, drawing your arms out wide to the side, securing your sits bones to heels. Hands to heart center, pause for a moment, closing your eyes. If you like the mudra with your middle finger bent, you're welcome to do so. If you'd prefer to have your palms down with your thumb on top of your pinky nail, you're welcome to do that. Bringing your awareness back to the center of your chest. And with the exhale, can you allow a little bit more of that Apanavayu force, that anchoring down? Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up. Once again, palms are facing the sky. And Echeha. 2 more times. And 1 more time. Beautiful. You do not need blocks, but if you have blocks or books, we'll stretch the tops of the ankles now. So starting in Seiza pose and then going into an ankle stretch. You can just kind of draw the tips of your block, or you can even roll up your blanket or take your bolster. We'll go ahead and start here in this position. We'll hold it for about a minute, similar to what we did with fire toes, because it can be quite intense. Once again, you'll go ahead and secure your thumbs and place them underneath your armpits, remaining 4 fingers pointing skyward. Eyes are closed. Do your best to pull the weight of the upper body back, whereby the shoulders are stacked over your hips. Relax the toes, relax the top of the foot. If this is too much on the rise of the top of your foot, right, then you are welcome to kind of slide your blocks back out and shift the weight forward. But instead, see if you can ground down, focusing on points of sensation. Beautiful. And when you're ready, go ahead and release, variation of Garuda Mudra. Slide your blocks to the side, and then go ahead and extend your legs forward. At this point, it might feel nice to move your ankles around a little bit, or maybe tick-tock or windshield wipe your knees from side to side. It's really up to you based on how you are feeling. All right, now if you have the bolster, you can take the bolster like so. It's got to be a little bit firmer. If it's too floppy, it may not work. So second suggestion is that you can go ahead and secure the bolster on its side on top of your shin bone, right? I'm going to take my wrists and have the cusp of my wrist drape over the edge of the bolster. And my wrists are going to be slightly wider than my shoulders. If you don't have this, it's fine. We're just going to fold over into a modified or supported caterpillar pose. Instead of having your toes flexed up like you would in Paschimottanasana, though, you're going to point your toes away from the midline of the body and then allow them to soften. Weight of the back of the leg and sits bones towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen up. And then exhale, tuck your chin, forward fold. If you're supported by your bolster, you're welcome to walk the bolster forward if you can fold over deeper. If folding over right now is a little too taxing, you can pull it up closer to your knees, but don't place it directly on your kneecaps. Your eyes are closed, your chin is tucked in. As you're breathing, creating that micro-orbit visualization from the tips of the toes, going all the way up the back side of the body and out through the crown of the head. As you continue to fold forward, you'll feel increasing the sensation of compression on your intestines. We'll be twisting in a moment. This time take the breath into the back body, the back side of the lungs. See if you can relax the body a little bit further down, forehead towards the floor. I'm curious, the more that we stay home, if surrendering and resigning our bodies into these shapes in the yin practice becomes easier because the rest of the world has forced us to slow down, or if it's harder because we're already dealing with the unsettledness of being stuck at home. There's no right or wrong answer, but as you're here with your eyes closed, connecting deeply with your breath, inquire within and see how you feel. So you inhale, begin to walk yourself forward, coming back into your L shape. And then you'll go ahead and transition, if you have a bolster, to your right side, parallel with your right thigh. And then you'll shift your weights to the right, bend both knees, creating 90-degree angles, coming into deer pose, right? So the large intestines are like so, and your lungs are here, so they're asymmetric, unlike the heart and the small intestine. So we need to do a lot of asymmetric twisting, etc., to stimulate. So we'll start by the internal rotation of the left femur bone, taking the bolster parallel to the right hip, and we'll just begin to twist. And as far forward as you feel like twisting and coming down, you can. Remember, you can keep the prop upright, or if going forward's a little bit tricky for you, for whatever reason, you're welcome to keep your arms straight, right? It's all good. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and come down, tuck your chin, Jalandhara, close your eyes. This is a perfect time to create a mudra with your hand, of which I've given you many options. And as you breathe, first point of sensation will be, how can you relax the inside of your left thigh and your left buttock? If you're newer to the practice and you're not familiar with Eka Bhuja Virasana, you want to open your eyes and just observe. Transitioning from elk pose, we'll inhale, take our left arm up. From here, I'll internally rotate my left hand and create a chicken bone, right? So the back of my hand is at the center of my scapula bones. I'll roll open, I'll extend my legs long, and I'll lay down. From here, my right hand will go and just create a little bit of a support for the back of my head. And like little pinchers, you can take your pointer finger and your thumb on your right hand and just gently massage your occiputs or the very top of your neck. It's a place where we tend to start tension headaches. You can do a little bit of self-massage if that feels good. Otherwise, just allow the backside of the body to relax. Breathe into your left wrist and the top of your left shoulder. Staying as you are, you'll go ahead and draw your right knee in towards your chest, thigh to ribs, and then open the wing of the right leg open, coming into a half butterfly. Since both arms are out of the way, take advantage of laying down on your back to breathe in a little bit deeper than you would otherwise. And expanding the breath, and like I enjoy saying, be greedy with the inhale and stingy with your exhale. Now you'll bend your left knee, drawing thigh to rib. Allow the wing to open, soles of both feet touching together. Keep the arms as they are. Do your best to continue with your eyes closed whenever possible, especially since you're at home and so easily distracted with everything around you. Cross your right ankle over your left, and when you're ready, push yourself up on an inhale. Coming into seated position. Find your Garuda Mudra, this time right thumb over left. Take an inhale, splaying the fingers. Exhale, Mushti Mudra. Hold your breath retention. As you're ready, exhale, lengthen the arms out wide to the side, expand the chest. Hold the exhale retention, arms out, Mushti Mudra, squeeze your thumb. We'll do this 2 more times. When you're ready, inhale, begin to fold back over, right wrist over left, Garuda, splay the fingers, big inhale. Hold the inhale retention, Mushti Mudra, squeeze the thumbs. Once again, release out. When you're ready to exhale, exhale retention, Mushti Mudra. When you're ready, one more time, Garuda at the chest, the fingers expanding wide. Hold at the top, Mushti. Release out on your exhale. And hold your exhale retention, Mushti Mudra. And when you're ready, take your hands to heart center. Walk your legs out in front of you. This time, take your legs out wider than your mat. You want to create enough space that as you fold forward, the belly can drop between your thighs. And when you're ready, exhale, forward fold. If you have blocks, it might be nice to take the blocks like so and take the tip of the forehead. Eyes are closed, stretching the back body. Stay connected to sensation, commit to stillness, and hold for time. When you're ready, inhale, come up. And once again, secure your thumbs to the creases of your armpits, remaining 4 fingers pointing up. Gently release out. And now we'll go ahead and shift the weight to our left hip. Internally rotate our right femur bone, and take our twist for our deer pose over to the left side. Twist and bring yourself down with your chin tucked in to whatever degree feels comfortable for you. Again, you're welcome to keep your arms straight. Inhale, take your right arm up. Think about opening the chest. Internally rotate your shoulder. Top of the hand between the scapula, extend your legs long, and transition onto your back. Your left hand will go up to cup the back of the head. Pinch your pointer and thumb, pointing down. You can give yourself a little bit of a massage if you'd like. We'll stay here for a moment before we pull the left knee in. And again, as you're breathing in this position, try to fill your lungs in a way that expands side ribs and also applies a little bit of pressure. You can feel it on the tops of your right fingernails. So you're taking that full inhale, the weight of the chest, the pressure of the air. Kind of pushing the hand a little bit deeper towards your mat and also creating that nice little sensation, the inside of your right wrist, the outer side of your elbow, and the top of your shoulder. So the lung meridian, like I said, starts at the chest, goes all the way down to the thumb. And at the wrist of the thumb, there's like 5 acupressure points that we're trying to stimulate. So as you're here, you can even feel the outer backside of your right ribs pressing into your wrist. And now, when you're ready, go ahead and pull your left leg in, and draw your knee out, finding your half butterfly with your left leg. This should create just a little more sensation in the right arm. And when you're ready, draw your right thigh in, open the wing, soles of the feet together, touching. Bring your awareness to the inside of your thighs and see if with each exhale you can just release them down a little bit more. Continue to deepen. Expand your breath. As you're ready, left ankle crosses over right. Inhale, rock yourself up. And release your hands. Find your Garuda Mudra, thumbs pressing together. Eyes are closed. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up. So you know the palms will be pointing skyward. Exhale, ha. 2 more times. And 1 last time. This time extend your legs out even wider than you did before, pulling the flesh of the sits bones back so there's a slight tilting of the pelvis by design. If you're super bendy, you can take your books or your blocks underneath your heels, but you don't have to. If you have your bolster, fantastic. You're welcome to take it in front of you. We're going to come back into a deeper forward fold, again going from these asymmetrics to this compression on the large intestines, and then we're going to do lateral flexion on both sides of the body, whereby having the bolster or your blocks to the outside might come in handy, but I'll walk you through all of that. Again, just a quick refresh on the mudras if you're interested in using them, but maybe you forgot how they worked. Mushti mudra. Okay, these are asymmetric. There's this mudra, which stimulates the lungs, which is governed by Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. That's why we're doing that one. And then there's this one, which is good for your bronchioles. Okay, so you're welcome to use any of those if you would like. Alrighty, so when you're ready, lift and lengthen up, and exhale, drape the body forward. Exhaling, begin to bring yourself back up, but keep your legs as they are. If you decided to put something under your heels and you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? Please remove them. Yeah. So we'll start on our left side as always. So taking the bolster up. You don't need a bolster. You're welcome to just kind of prop up on your arm. Otherwise, you'll go ahead and bend your elbow. And if you can see, the base of my palm is going to rest just above my earlobe, so there's no folding of the earlobe. That doesn't feel good. It makes the gallbladder and kidneys unhappy. Right? So you go ahead and point your fingertips up. And then you can decide what you want to do with your right arm, right? You're welcome to do a mudra. You can take your right arm just below your left shoulder. Why would you want to do that? Because that's where a lot of acupressure points are for the respiratory cardiovascular system. If you liked doing the arm like chicken wing style, you're welcome to do that as well. It doesn't really matter, but find something to do with your arm that's useful to you. Close your eyes and connect with your breath. Take advantage of breathing deeply into your right side body. Pushing the air in through the right side ribs. Wherever your right arm is, inhale, go ahead and extend it out. Allow it to recenter you. And just pause for a moment with your hands gently placed on your kneecaps, eyes closed. See if you can feel the contrast and sensation from the left and the right side body. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you'll just transfer over to the opposite side. Find your perch, your lateral flexion. There might be even a little bit of a twist. Pick a mudra as you wish with your left hand, or bring it just to the top of the right shoulder. As you're ready, left hand goes up to the sky, realigns your spine to neutral, palms flat on your knees. Close your eyes. Examine the juxtaposition of sensations now. And then grab the inside of your thighs, slowly begin to draw the knees in and bring the soles of the feet to touch. We've already done this, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, this time through a forward fold. So you can kind of bring the wings of your butterfly or your moth inward and take your blocks or books and put them underneath. You can also take your peace fingers around your big toes, Padangusta grip. And exhale, forward fold, tuck your chin, round your spine. Inhale, begin to bring yourself up. Coming back to Garuda Mudra at the heart. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up. Palms face towards the sky. Exhale, Ha. Consolidating hands back into Anjali 2 more times. We'll now make our way onto our belly, and we'll start in Sphinx with transitions to a half dragonfly arm. And if you're unfamiliar with that, it's also Ardha Svastikasana, right? I'll show you what it's going to look like for a second. So for now, everybody walk your forearms parallel in front of you, stacking your elbows below your shoulders, right? You can kind of curl your toes under and kind of pull the tops of the thighs down away from the pubic bone. Push down with the pubic bone, find a mild stretch in the lower abdomen, and then soften it all down. Right, you'll find your chin in a tucked position. Right, Jalandhara Bandha, not only do you want to breathe through the back of the neck, but you want to compress your thyroid, which will be really good for boosting your immune system. Right, now you're going to stay here and just watch what I'm doing for a second, and then I'll cue you when we're actually going to do it. But for now, we're just going to stay here for about 5 minutes. So eventually, I will cue you to extend your arm out. If I were to bend my elbow, my thumb would go to my temple. So it's roughly about 11 o'clock. I'll eventually slide my right hand back like a push-up, bending my knees, and I'll roll over onto my left side just enough to feel a stretch in my chest, the top of my shoulder, and it should run down the corridor of my fingertips. Then I'll slide ruler my thumb towards my sternum, and if you have a block or a bolster, it might be nice to make a pillow. We'll do it on this side. I'll probably throw in something funky just to keep it interesting, and then we'll go to the other side. But for now, We're going to be in Sphinx. Try to soften everything down. There might be a tendency to root down with your toenails because you're so used to doing this more actively in vinyasa. But here we want to just get kind of sloppy. You can feel the lower part of the spine kind of sinking deeper into the back. And the breath might become a little bit more shallow, which is okay. Relax and be still. As we transition from the other side, there'll be an opportunity to straighten your arms into seal, but don't do that just yet, please. We want to build slowly and mindfully. Now, when you're ready, extend your left arm out. Again, keep in mind the thumb is in line with the temple, so your shoulder will not become your pillow. This could be your pillow. Plant your right hand down as if you're going to do a chaturanga. Bend both knees. Windshield wipe them over to the left. You're going to roll over onto the left side of your ribs. Your thumb is like a slide ruler that you're going to draw closer to your sternum, depending on how much you want to twist and stretch. Some of you will plant your feet up like a bridge. Others might do something like this with your legs. It really doesn't matter. The goal is to open up the chest and to stretch the inside of the arm. Roll back over onto your belly. And let's extend both arms forward and tense your fingertips up. You can do it either on your blocks or you can have your fingertips flat to the floor. Tuck your chin, try to take your forehead to the ground. Once you feel like you have the orientation with your fingers, it would be a great time to relax your feet down and soften your buttocks. So this is like fire toes equivalent of the fingertips. Inhale, lift your head. Walk your forearms back. So we're coming into second set of Sphinx. Now, if you're super bendy, like Urdhva Dhanurasana is really easy, or you can do Dhanurasana and grab your feet, or do camel grabbing your heels without having to kind of jerry-rig your arms to get there, then you're welcome to come into seal. Because we're going to hold this for a while, we don't necessarily want to go nuts and force something that doesn't feel natural, especially if we haven't been practicing as much as we normally would, being at home with our kids. I am that person, right? So I can come back onto my fingertips or flat on my palms. It kind of depends on how much stimulation you want. I want to get right into that large intestine and lung. So I'm going to come up, and you can see my legs are pretty active to be here. So I have to make a conscientious choice. Can I settle in And if I can't settle in for like 10 breaths or so, I probably shouldn't do it. So another option might be to bring the hands down and press away with the base of the palm, right? So today, this is what's going to work best for me. And then once I feel like I have my arms where I need them to be, and I don't need my legs to be strong, I'm going to sink in, soften my buttocks, right? And then I'll drop my chin down. Exhale, begin to bring yourself down. And then you're going to extend your right arm out to the side. Again, thumb in line with temple. Left hand will come like chaturanga. You'll bend your knees and roll over onto your right side. I have a mic pack, so I'm not going to roll over. You'll roll over onto your right side, and then the thumb of the left hand is going to pull closer to your sternum, depending on how much transversal leverage you want in your twist. Right, you might want to stack your feet coming into bridge legs. Entirely up to you. But taking advantage of just kind of hitting that beautiful lung line at the end of the practice. And then having the energy come up the opposite direction for the large intestines. Getting a little bit of that final abdominal twist, but it's very gentle. Once you're settled, if you don't have a block or something to rest your head, you can always mushti mudra your left fist and put it at your temple. I have a short neck, so I'm pretty sensitive that way, so I find that a little support for my head goes the distance. It makes me enjoy sinking deeper into the pose. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and bring it back to center. If you have blocks or books, you can go ahead and bring your arms up a little bit higher, wrists out slightly wider, tuck your chin and forward fold. Otherwise, you can just continue pressing your fingertips like spiders. Inhale, look up, and press back child's pose. When you press back into your child's pose, your knees are wide and your big toes touch. Your chin is tucked in. Maybe your forehead touches the floor or rests on the edge of your block. And hopefully my folding forward didn't muffle the mic too much, so you could enjoy your practice. We're here just to realign the spine because there's a little element of twisting in that pose, and to compensate for the back bends that we did belly down. And when you're ready, go ahead and pull yourself up into your seat. You can find a virasana. Right, so take the thighs in, pull the heels out. You can sit directly on your heels, or you can sit on a bolster or your block. Finding your Garuda Mudra. We'll do one more round of Garuda and Mushti, 3 sets with breath retentions. Press the thumbs together, inhale, splay the fingers. Feel the buoyancy in the chest, hold the retention, Mushti. Exhale, release out. Find your Mushti, hold your exhale retention. And when you're ready, inhale. Hold the inhale retention, Mushti Mudra. And release out. Hold. And inhale. Mushti. Release out. Fingertips wide as you do. Mushti. Squeeze the thumb, create compression. And gather your hands at heart center. Beautiful. We'll lay down and take a short Shavasana and then come into a short guided meditation. So you can take your bolster underneath your knees. That always feels nice, right? If you'd rather have the bolster underneath your chest, kind of open up the lungs, you're welcome to do that as well. You're going to find what works best for you and begin to make your way back. You're surrendering the backside of the body. Feeling heavy and grounded, fully supported. Your arms are out wide, creating the shape of a pentagram and the 5-pointed star. So as you breathe, your lungs feel nice and open. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Please keep your eyes shut, but gently begin to just windshield wipe your head from side to side. Exhaling as your ear drops to the shoulder. Inhaling, pulling the head back to center position, and then exhaling off to the other side. You can bend your knees and plant your feet and just windshield wipe or tick-tock from side to side. Nice comforting and massaging pressure on your sacrum. You'll find your way into your upright seated position, however that feels best for you. And you're welcome to take whichever mudra inspires you. As we come into a few minutes of meditation. As we sit in meditation, take the awareness to the left and the right sides of your chest, to the left and the right side of your abdominal area. Acknowledge whatever sensations or feelings arise when you draw your attention to those places. As things begin to change and as days go by and everything's a little different than it used to be. It's hard with our human tendencies of attachment to feel comfortable. So it's okay to grieve what once was. But there's also something really beautiful and courageous in channeling our energies on what's possible and how we can make tomorrow even better than yesterday once was. We'll sit for another minute of silence. And when you're ready, inhale, circle sweep your arms up. And exhale, cast your arms out wide to the side and just shake off anything you'd like to let go of. Any disappointment, any sadness, any grief. Give yourself permission to feel things but not be attached to them. Hands come together, create a little bit of heat. And once again, take your hands, back thumbs into the armpits, fingertips pointing up. Closing our practice today with a few closing breaths. Count your blessings. Reflect on the things that you're most grateful for in your life. And when you're ready, hands come back to Anjali Mudra. Today we dedicate the merit of our practice to the spiritual liberation of all sentient beings. It is our hope that one day all beings everywhere can finally have a chance to be happy and free. Sending you love, peace, and blessings. Thank you, and namaste.